press the bell icon on the YouTube app and never miss another update.
Hello my dear students, I am here to teach you a lesson, page number 126 in our main course book Honeycomb, A Bicycle in Good Repair. If you wish to go on a long bicycle ride, the bicycle should be in good condition. If possible, an expert mechanic should overhaul it. But what happens if the machine has a will of its own and the mechanic knows next to nothing? It's called as fantasy, imagination. It's an imaginative story. It's about a story of a bicycle. So the question is raised in the introduction is, if you want to go for a long ride on a bicycle, you decide where to go, is it? But if you want to go for a long ride, the bicycle must be in a good condition. Okay, you need the help of a mechanic to keep it in a good condition. So there is a condition here, if machine has a will of its own, that means if machine is able to think where to go, when to go, it's got its own free will, what would happen? This is a question posed to it. Let us see what happens in the story. A bicycle in good repair. A bicycle, it refers to any bicycle, one bicycle. A refers to as any indefinite cycle. Bicycle. Bi means what? It's two. Okay, mono means single, bi means two. So two bicycle in good repair. Let us see what happens in the story. A man I know proposed one evening we should go for a long bicycle ride together on the following day. And I agreed. Here I is narrator, he is reading the story, what happened. A man I knew, a known person, proposed one evening. Propose means they had a talk and he said that we should go for a long bicycle ride. So why can't we go for a bicycle ride? It's a fashion in olden days, go for a bike ride. But nowadays, again back now, it's a bicycle is fashion and it's more for keeping your health intact. So nowadays many people buying cycles. And here in the story, two person decides to go for a ride, bicycle ride. I agreed. Even he accepted the offer. He offered, we'll go. Yes, he said, okay. I got up early. For me, I made an effort. I got up early, yes, because they wanted to leave. And for me, I made an effort and was pleased with myself. I made an effort, okay, I got everything is set to go and was pleased with myself. I'm happy, yes, I'm going for a ride. It gives me happiness. I'm ready. He came half an hour late. He got up early, everything is set and he was waiting for his friend to come and he came. He means one who proposed, given the offer, going for a bicycle. He has come half an hour late, half an hour. An hour. Why? Because it starts with the O-vowel, that's why. Though it is a H, we don't pronounce H, we pronounce O. So it becomes an hour. Half an hour. Half an hour, ardha ghante. I was waiting for him in the garden. So he got ready and he was spending time in the garden. It was a lovely day, he said. It was lovely, it's beautiful morning. He said, that's a good looking machine of yours. How does it run? He said, he means the one person is who came late. He said that was a good looking machine of yours. Really your machine is good looking, very good. It cycled. How does it run? Oh, like most of them. I answered. So he replied that how other vehicles run, other machine run in the same manner, it runs easily enough in the morning, no problem in the morning. Why? Because weather is very cool, it can run easily. Goes a little stiffly after lunch. After stiffly means what? Very hard. Why? Because morning there is no sun. Though it is a sun, but it's not that much scorching sun. The weather would be very cool. But in the afternoon, a bit slow. After lunch, he caught hold of it by the front wheel and the fork and shook it violently. That person, he caught hold of it by the front wheel. Front wheel, mundin wheel tagontane. And the fork means the spokes irutte adu, and shook it violently. Shook it means shaking. Shook. He shook it so violently, tumba kettadagi. I said, so when he observed the thing he was doing, he said that, okay, don't do that. Why don't you do that? You will hurt it. Okay, no ಮಾಡ್ತಿದೀಯ. Look at the word he used, hurt, you will hurt it. Usually machines never get hurt. Why? Because they're lifeless, non-living objects. ಅದು ಬದುಕಿರೋದಲ್ಲ, ನೋವಾಗಲ್ಲ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ. But he says, don't do that, it hurts it. I didn't see why he should shake it. Really, I didn't understand what was the reason or what was the intention of doing like that to my cycle. But really, I didn't like it. Why he should shake it? ಯಾಕೆ ಅವನು ಥರ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು? It had not done anything to him. The cycle is ready to move. That's all. We were about to leave the place and go for a ride. I don't know why he did like so. The cycle has not done anything wrong to the person. Besides, it's a preposition. In addition, if it wanted shaking, I was a proper person to shake it. If the cycle needs some repair, if it needs a shake, and I am the right person. Why? Because I am the owner of the bicycle. I would have done that. I was the proper person to shake it because I am the owner of the cycle. I felt much as I should had he started whacking my dog. I felt much as I should had he started whacking my dog. That means he loves his bicycle so much that he compares it. I felt so bad as if he is whacking my dog. Whacking means what? Beating or striking. If he is beating my pet. I felt a very sad feeling as if he beaten my dog. That means I love my cycle very much. He said, this front wheel wobbles. After checking and shaking, he made a statement. He said that front wheel wobbled. ಅಂದರೆ wobble ಅಂತಂದರೆ ಮೂವ್ ಕುಟ್ಟುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ. It cannot move smoothly. It wobbles. ತಗುದಿನ್ನೇ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಥವಾ ಅಲ್ಲ ಸರಿಯಾಗಿ ಹೋಗೋಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ. It moves unsteadily from side to side. You cannot make a good ride on it. I said, he replied, it didn't if you don't wobble it. It doesn't if you don't wobble it. ಇಲ್ಲ it is not, it doesn't, ಇಲ್ಲ ಅದು ಆಗಲ್ಲ. If you don't wobble it, ನೀನು ಅದನ್ನ ತೊಂದರೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದೀಯ. You are doing that. Otherwise it didn't do. It didn't wobble, ಅದು ಇಲ್ಲ. It never shakes. As a matter of fact, nothing worth calling a wobble. For a ಹೇಳ್ತಾನೆ, let me tell you, nothing worth calling a wobble. Really can't made a statement like this. Really, my cycle cannot wobble. It runs very smoothly. He said, again one more person, the same person, okay, companion, I can say companion, who decided to go for a ride. He said, this is dangerous. Have you got a hammer? Really, the cycle, the front wheel is not that much good. It wobbles. Do we have it is very dangerous. It can harm you. So have you got a hammer? He's asking a question. Have you got a hammer? Hammer and a sutti. I ought to have been firm, but I thought that perhaps he really did know something about the business. I ought to have been firm. I have to be firm about my cycle. I know what it is. I am very much firm. Firm andre I know everything about it. ದೃಢವಾಗಿದ್ದೀನಿ ನಾನು. But I thought that perhaps he really didn't know something about the business. Really ನಾನು ಅನ್ಕೊಂತೀನಿ, I know firmly, ನನಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತು ಏನೂ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ. But I don't know why this man don't know anything in the business. But I don't know why he is behaving like that. I went to the tool shed to see what I could find. Again, he don't wanted to make him upset. Again, he went to a shed, a place, space to keep things, to keep tools. He went to the tool shed to see what I could find. I could find means to stop ubbling. When I came back, he was sitting on the ground with the front wheel between his legs. So easily you can imagine, he's holding the front wheel and it is kept in between his legs. He was playing with it. Playing, he's not ready to repair it, he's playing with it. Maybe he's playing the spokes. Twiddling it around between his fingers. Look at the word. Twiddling means turning. And we used to play when we were kids. Twiddling it around between his fingers. The remnant of the machine was lying on the gravel path beside him. Remnant means remaining part. So the front wheel is between his legs and the remaining part on the other side. It is on the gravel, or I can say the other part of the park. Remnant of the machine was lying on the gravel path beside him. Gravel path maybe where they walk. It's not the grass, alil. Beside him, next to him. He said, "It looks to me as if bearing were all wrong." All bearings means the mechanics or the spokes, how they stick it. It looks to me as if the bearings were all wrong. It's not good. I said, "Don't you trouble about it anymore. Please don't trouble it. You will make yourself tired. Why do you take trouble? Don't take trouble. It's nothing to do with the cycle. Everything is perfect. Let us put it back and get off. Better you fix it and get off means we'll get rid of this business. We'll start our ride." He said, "We may as well as see what is the matter with it. Now it is out." He talked as though it has dropped out by accident. So he said, "We may as well what is the matter with it? We may as we will see what is the matter. ನೋಡೋಣ ಏನು ತೊಂದರೆ ಆಗಿದೆ. What is the problem with the front wheel? Now it is out. ಹೇಗೂ ಹೊರಗಡೆ ಬಂದಿದೆಯಲ್ಲ, who will see it?" He talked as though it has dropped out by accident. The person said that, "Let us check the matter. What is the problem with it? Anyhow it has come out." The cycle, the wheel of the front wheel, it has not come out itself. Tantanage horag bandilla. That person has removed it. Is it? He has removed it. And he is saying that, "Let us see the matter. Anyhow it has come out." Actually it had not dropped out by accident. It was not accidentally it came out. He purposely has removed it. Before I could stop him, he had answered, he had unscrewed something somewhere. Before I could stop him, don't do anything, better you leave my cycle. It is intact, it is in good condition. Before that, he had unscrewed something somewhere. Unscrewed, he has opened all the screws. And out rolled all over the path some dozen or so little balls. I think ನಿಮಗೆ ಇವಾಗಿನ ಮಕ್ಕಳಿಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ, small balls ಎಲ್ಲ ಇರ್ತದೆ, okay, ಹಾಕಿರ್ತಾರೆ. It spread everywhere. Some dozen or so little balls all over. They rolled over. ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಡೆಗೆ balls ಬಿದ್ದು ಹೋಯ್ತು. "Catch them," he shouted. You catch them, otherwise I can't fix them properly. Catch them. Catch them. We mustn't lose any one of them. So each ball is iron ball. Each iron ball is important. Catch them, catch them. He started shouting. He was quite excited about them. Excited because all the balls are rolling. They're rolling. That's why catch them. Every ball, single ball is important. We grovelled around for half an hour. Grovelled, we keep on searching for half an hour in the ground. And found 16. At last we found 16 balls. He said he hoped we had got them all. Now after all the balls rolled over the ground, so he said at last we got them all. Because if not, it wouldn't make a serious difference to the machine. All 16 are important, otherwise something would be missing, or it cannot make a perfect machine. I put them for safety in my hat. So after 16, I got all the 16 balls, I put in my coat, hat coat. It was not a sensible thing to do, I admit. Not a sensible thing to do, I admit. Really, he's not happy with the thing he has done with the bicycle. Let us see what happens in the next He then said that while he was about it, he would see to the chain for me and at once began taking off the gear case. I don't know why he is behaving like this. The intention of meeting them in the fine morning is to go for a bicycle ride, and all of a sudden he came and he opened the front wheel and he wanted to check something. Now he's starting to go open the chain and the gear case. He then said that while he was about it, he would see to the chain for me and at once began taking off the gear case. The gear case iruttalla chain hatra. Then he started opening it. He began taking off, removing the gear case. I did try to dissuade him from that. Dissuade means check or examine the chain. See, the chain means what? Check or examine the chain. Chain examine ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗ್ತಾನೆ. Somehow the narrator wanted to dissuade him, means convince him, don't do that, stop it. I did try to dissuade him from that. I wanted to stop him from that. I told him what an experienced friend of mine once said to me solemnly means very seriously. And I did try to dissuade him from that. I told him what an experienced friend of mine once said to me seriously. And the friend ಹೇಳಿದ್ದ ಏನಂತ, if anything goes wrong with your gear case, ಆ ಸೈಕಲಲ್ಲಿ gear case ಆಗಿತ್ತು ಅಂದರೆ sell the machine and buy a new one, it comes cheaper. That means, especially when it comes to the machines, we have to maintain it for a good condition. To keep it in a good condition, we have to use it properly. Okay, that is the case. But whenever you have complaints about it, don't go for repair, better you sell it. You can buy it in a cheaper. That means repairing becomes costlier than buying. Better you sell and buy a new one, it comes cheaper. This is one of my friends experience said this given suggestion to me. He said, people talk like that who understand nothing about machine. Okay, people who speak like this, who made these kind of statements, why? Because they don't know anything about machines. Nothing is easier than taking off a gear case. Nothing is easier than taking off a gear case. That means he says that opening a gear case is very difficult. It's not so easy. He is commenting. Usually in our real life also, whenever a machine gets upset or it's not working properly, better to change the entire thing. Nowadays buying is easier than repairing. Repairing nowadays it's expensive. I had to confess he was right. I had to confess means accept, how to admit, ಒಪ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೇಬೇಕಾಯಿತು. Yes, he was right. In less than 5 minutes he had the gear case in 2 pieces. Easy ಆಗಿ. ಅಂದರೆ nothing is easier than taking off a gear case ಅಂದರೆ easy ಅಂತ. Gear case ತೆಗೆಯೋದು ತುಂಬ easy. Without any trouble you can remove the gear case. I had to confess he was right. Confess ಒಪ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೇಬೇಕಾಯಿತು. ಏನಂತ? In less than 5 minutes. Within 5 minutes he had the gear case in 2 pieces. ಅಂದರೆ he removed the gear case and into 2 pieces. Lying on the path. Path means ಆ ರಸ್ತೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಬಿದ್ದಿದೆ ಅದು. And was groveling for screws. Groveling again, he started searching for the screws. He said it was always a mystery to him the way screws disappeared. Really mystery, unknown thing, unknown fact. Why whenever you remove something, any machine, the screws disappear. And where it disappears, really we don't know. It's a mystery. Mystery means unknown fact. I don't know where the screw goes. Common sense continued to whisper to me. Common sense, very important thing. ಅಂದರೆ ಇರಬೇಕು, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಡೆಫಿನೇಷನ್ ಕೊಡೋದು ಕಷ್ಟ ಕಾಮನ್ ಸೆನ್ಸಿಗೆ. ಬಟ್ people say that common sense is not so common. We should know where to speak, where not to speak, where to sit, where not to sit, how to give respect, how to react. All these things included in common sense. And here common sense continued to whisper to me. And then my common sense is working and it's whispering means suddenly nange helta ide. Stop him. My common sense is giving suggestions to me. Stop him. He is doing wrong with your bicycle. Before he does many more mischief, I think definitely he's going to do with something wrong with your bicycle. Better you stop him. You have a right to protect your own property from the ravages of a lunatic. Lunatic hucha. Basically, is a lunatic person. All of a sudden, he came. He started opening the wheel, then gearbox, then chain. So better you stop him. Really, you must protect your property. Property in a property, bicycle. Better you protect your own property from a ravages. Ravages, sondre, damages. Definitely is going to spoil your property. He is a mad. I think he is a mad person. Better you stop him. Take him by the scruff of the neck and kick him out of the gate. So my common sense is making me that you kick him and send him out of the gate. Take him by the scruff, means kolpatti, hidkombidu, of the neck and kick him out of the gate. Kick means just give a one nicely to go out of the gate. But I am weak when it comes to the hurting other people's feelings. But really I am weak, but that means I am very polite. I tolerate people, so I don't want it to hurt him. I am very weak in hurting people's feelings, and I let him muddle on mixed with things. Let him do that. I can't do that. I can't be harsh. I can't be rude to him in this condition. Really, I am sorry, I can't do this. He gave up looking for the rest of the screws. He gave up means he stopped. He stopped finding the screws. He said screws had a knack of turning up when you least expected them. He said, that is the person who is repairing the cycle, he said that screws had a knack of turning up when you least expected them. When you need, you won't find them. Okay? Whenever you don't want the screws, definitely you find everywhere. And that now he would see to the chain. Next, after opening the gearbox, now he is looking into the chain. He tightened it till it did not be moved. He tightened it so much it not be opened. He tightened it till it won't move. Next, he loosened it until it was twice as loose as it was before. He's checking. Really, don't know why he was doing like that. Once he tightened so much, it's not moving. Once he loosened so much, it becomes so loose that it is very difficult to handle. And then he said we had better think about getting the front wheel back into its place again. Now he says that better get the front wheel back into its place again. Now it's time to fix it in the front place. I held the fork open. Again, the fork is open. That is the front place where they keep the wheel. And he worried with the wheel, whether he is worrying that it is going to fix to the proper place or not. At the end of 10 minutes, I suggested should hold the fork and I should handle the wheel, and we changed the places. So at the end of 10 minutes, I suggested the person should hold the fork. He must hold the fork. He must hold the fork, and I should handle the wheel. Now I am going to fix the wheel, and we changed the places. That means before he wanted to fix the wheel, but now the places have been exchanged. He is going to suppose fix the wheel. At length, we did get the thing into position. At the length, after spending long hours, we did get the thing into position. We fixed the proper place. And the moment it was in position, he burst out laughing. So he fixed after moment akshana admile, he burst out laughing. He started laughing loudly. I said, what is the joke? So what's the reason for your laughter? What is the joke? Tell me. He said, well, I'm an ass. He's scolding himself. Ayyo, nanobba katte. Andre yaki katte in baikodane usually ass is an animal associated to foolishness. Andre ಮೂರ್ಖತನಕ್ಕೆ ಹೆಸರುವಾಸಿ ಅಲ್ವಾ. ಸೊ ಯಾವ ಮನುಷ್ಯ ಯಾರ ಮೂರ್ಖತನ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ಕತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಬೈತೀವಿ. ಇಲ್ಲೂ ಅಷ್ಟೇ, ಅಯ್ಯೋ ಮೈ ಗಾಡ್, ಐ ಆಮ್ an ass, ನಾನು ಕತ್ತೆ. It was a friend thing he had said that made me respect him. I asked him what had led him to the discovery. ಅವನು ಹೇಳ್ತಾನೆ, It was the first thing he had said that made me respect him. No, ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ನಂಗೆ ತುಂಬ ಗೌರವ ಕೊಡಬೇಕು ಅನಿಸುತ್ತೆ. I had asked him what had led him to discovery. ಏನು ಡಿಸ್ಕವರಿ ಮಾಡಿದ್ಯಪ್ಪ, ಏನು ಕಂಡುಹಿಡಿದು ಹೇಳು ಅಂತ. He said, we have forgotten the balls. ಅಪ್ಪ, ನಾವು ಬಾಲ್ಸ್ ಮರ್ತ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀವಿ, ಹಾಕೇ ಇಲ್ಲ. I looked for my hat. ಅವನ ತಲೆ ಅಂದರೆ ಅವನು ಹ್ಯಾಟ್ ಇರುತ್ತಲ್ಲ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹಾಕೊಂಡಿರ್ತಾನೆ, ಹ್ಯಾಟ್ ಒಳಗಡೆಗೆ. Then it was lying topsy-turvy in the middle of the path. Topsy-turvy ಅಂದರೆ upside and down. ಓಕೆ, ಟಾಪ್ಸಿ-ಟರ್ವ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಆ ಹ್ಯಾಟಲ್ಲಿ ಅವನು ಬಾಲ್ಸ್ ಹಾಕಿದ್ದಾನೆ, ಅದು ಬಿದ್ದೋಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದೆ. Obviously all balls would have rolled out in every place. He was a cheerful disposition. He said, well, we must put balls all we can find and thirst to providence again. See, this is the idiotic nature of this person. Because of that person, our narrator is finding so a difficulty. He was a cheerful disposition. Really, the enta tamashiya kelsa alla. He said, well, we must put back all we can find. Okay, let us find all 16 balls. At least, however, how much we get, we have to thirst it. Turukbekadu, hakbeku. We found 11 out of 16. They found 16 and he kept in his hat pocket. Now they got only 11. We fixed 6 on one side and 5 on the other. And half an hour later, the wheel was in its place again. Front wheel, it was again the place. And it need hardly be added that it really did ubul now. It need hardly be added that it really did ubul now. Munche ubul ಆಗ್ತಿರಲಿಲ್ಲ, ಇವಾಗ ubul ಆಗ್ತಿದೆ. A child might have noticed it. ಒಂದು ಪುಟ್ಟ ಮಗು ಕೂಡ ಹೇಳುತ್ತೆ the cycle ubulls ಅಂತ. ಉಬುಲ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಕುಂಟೋದು. ಈಗ ಟಕ್ ಟಕ್ ಸೌಂಡ್ ಆಗುತ್ತಲ್ಲ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಉಬುಲ್ ಅಂತಾರೆ. He said what would be so for the it said it would be for the present. ಸದ್ಯಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಕು ಇಷ್ಟು. I said, watching you do this is a real use to me. It is not only a skill that fascinates me, it is your cheery confidence in yourself, your inexplicable hopefulness that does me good. So it really did ubul now. A child might have noticed it. He said it would do for the present. Oh, no problem. Okay, it would do at present is sari hogutte. I said, the narrator said, watching you do this is of real use to me. Really, the way you handle the thing, that has really attracted me. It is not only a skill that fascinates me. In skill, you can handle cycle very well, no problem. It is your cheery confidence in yourself. ಎಷ್ಟೊಂದು ನಿನಗೆ cheerful ಅಂದರೆ ತುಂಬ ಆ್ಯಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಆಗಿದೆಯಾ ನಿನ್ನ that activeness, that cheerfulness really fascinates me, attracts me. Your inexplicable hopefulness, you're hopeful. Every moment when you open the gearbox, when you open the front wheel, when you open the chain, you're tightening and losing the wheel. Really, those things really makes me attract towards you and your inexplicable hopefulness. Hopefulness, ನೀನು ಎಷ್ಟು ಭರವಸೆ ನಿನ್ನ ಮೇಲೆ. That does good me. ನಿಜವಾಗ್ಲೂ ನಂಗೆ ತುಂಬ ಇಷ್ಟ ಆಯಿತು. That does good for me. Thus encouraged, he set to work to refix the gear keys. Afterwards, after fixing the front wheel, they're going to fix the gear case. He stood the bicycle against the house and worked from the offside. Offside, ಮತ್ತೆ ಬೇರೆ ಕಡೆಯಿಂದ ವರ್ಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ. Then ಇಲ್ಲಿ offside is that side of the field which the batsman is facing to receive the ball. On side, the opposite. ಅಂದರೆ opposite side. They are going to ಆ ಸೈಕಲ್ ಉಲ್ಟಾ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಉಲ್ಟಾ ಮಾಡಿ ಫಿಕ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. He stood the bicycle against the house and worked from the off side. Then he stood it against a tree, on the opposite to a tree, and worked from the on side. Then I held it for him. Held means holding it. While he lay on the ground with his head between the wheels, and I worked it from below and dropped oil upon himself. So he started working. He's lying, he's holding cycle and he's dropped oiling ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ. He lay on the ground with his head between the wheels. Head between the wheels ಅಂದರೆ ಎರಡು wheel. He's lying, ಎರಡು wheel, ಎರಡು ಸೈಕಲ್ ಇದೆಯಲ್ವಾ, ಮಧ್ಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಮಲ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾನೆ and he's fixing it. and worked at it from below. Malkond kelsa ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದಾನೆ and dropped oil upon himself. ಅದು ಹಾಕ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಆಯಿಲ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಅವನ ಮೈ ಮೇಲೆ ಬಿದ್ದು ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಡ್ತು. Then he took it away from me and doubled himself across it till he lost his balance and slid over the to his head. ಅಂದರೆ ಆ ರಿಪೇರಿ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಸ್ಲಿಡ್ ಆಗಿಬಿಟ್ಟು ಅವ್ನ ತಲೆ ಮೇಲೆ ಬಿದ್ದುಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ ಸೈಕಲ್. Then he lost his temperament, patience. He lost his patience and tried to bullying the thing. Bullying means ಬೈಯೋದು ಅಥವಾ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಸೈಕಲ್ಗೆ ಬೈಲಿಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ. Simply he is angry now. The bicycle, bullying thing, that is bicycle. I was glad to see, showed spirit, and subsequent proceedings degenerated into little else than a rough and tumble fight between him and the machine. Really. When he lost his temperament, patience, tried bullying the thing. Bicycle on bullying andre adna hodiyoke seti baratta avನಿಗೆ. When he lost his patience, he started scolding the bicycle. I was glad to see. Glad means happy. I'm very happy to see that these two, the mechanic, who is a friend, and the bicycle, these two are making war between us. Okay, that is very happy to see. And the subsequent proceedings degenerated into little else. Andre there were proceedings reduced into little else than a rough and tumble fight between him and the machine. Tumble fight ಅಂತಂದರೆ ಪ್ರೊಸೀಡಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆಯಿತು and fight between them increased ಅಂತ. Fight between him and the machine. One moment the bicycle would be on the gravel path. After a moment, ಒಂದು ಕ್ಷಣ ಆದ ತಕ್ಷಣ the bicycle is on the path. Path means ದಾರಿಯಲ್ಲಿದೆ. And he on the top of it. Now he is on the top of it. ಅಂದರೆ ಸೈಕಲ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಕುತ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾನೆ. The next, the position would be reversed. ಮತ್ತೆ ಕುತ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೊಡಿತಿದ್ದಾನೆ ಮತ್ತೆ position reverse. He is lying and top of him the bicycle is there. He on the gravel path, the bicycle on him. ಇವಾಗ ಸೈಕಲ್ ಮೇಲಿದೆ, ಅವನು ಕೆಳಗಡೆ ಇದ್ದಾನೆ. Now he would be standing flushed with victory, the bicycle firmly fixed between his legs. ಇವಾಗ ಅವನ ಕಾಲಲ್ಲಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟೆಗಿಟ್ಕೊಂಡು it is completely fixed now. But his triumph would be short-lived. Triumph means victory, ಗೆಲುವು. Okay, it is short-lived. Short-lived, it is not there for long time. ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ತನಕ ಮಾತ್ರ ಇತ್ತು. By a sudden ತಕ್ಷಣ quick movement ಆಯಿತು ಒಂದು. It would free itself. ಎಲ್ಲ whatever things he has fixed, everything become loosened and turning upon him ಅವನ ಮೇಲೆ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. And hit him sharply over the head with one of its handles. Whatever he has fixed it, now completely turning upon him. ಅವನಿಗೆ ಹೊಡಿತಾವೆ. Hit him sharply over the head. ಅವನಿಗೆ ಬಂದು ತಲೆಗೆ ಹೊಡಿತಾ ಇದ್ದಾವೆ with one of his handles. 2 ಹ್ಯಾಂಡಲ್ಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಒಂದು ಹ್ಯಾಂಡಲ್ಲಿ ಅವನಿಗೆ ಹೊಡಿತಾ ಇದೆ. At a quarter to one ಅಂದರೆ 1 ಗಂಟೆಗೆ 1/4 ಗಂಟೆ ಬಾಕಿ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ. One dirty and dishelved, cut and bleeding, he said. Dirty means completely ಒಂದೆಲ್ಲ ಡ್ರೆಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕೊಳೆ ಆಗಿದೆ. Dishelved, cut and bleeding. Cut and bleeding ಅಂದರೆ that cycle came and hit him and bleeding, ರಕ್ತ ಬರ್ತಿದೆ, ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಟ್ ಆಗಿದೆ ಕೈಯಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲ. He said, I think that will do, and rose and wiped his brow. He said, I think that will do, ಅದಾಗತ್ತೆ ಅನಿಸುತ್ತೆ, and rose ಎದಳ್ತಾನೆ and wiped his brow. ಇಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲ ಒರೆಸ್ಕೋತಾನೆ, ಪೆಟ್ಟಾಗಿತ್ತು ಅನಿಸುತ್ತೆ ನನಗೆ, ಇಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲ ಒರೆಸ್ಕೋತಾನೆ. The bicycle looked as if it also had enough of it. ಅಂದರೆ it really has troubled the bicycle so much. First he removed the wheel, then he removed the chain, he checked the chain, then he removed the gearbox. He did all possible nonsensical thing with him. Now after fixing everything, the cycle lost his patience and he hit him. At last the bicycle looked as if it also had enough of it. Really, I'm tired, I'm sick of him, which had received most punishment. It would have been difficult to say. Really, he troubled the bicycle so much. I took him into the back kitchen where, so far as was possible, he cleaned himself. Then I sent him home. I took him to the back kitchen where. Kitchen means, I can say it's a backyard where they got a washing place. He took there so far as possible. ಎಷ್ಟಾಗುತ್ತೋ ಅಷ್ಟು he cleaned himself. He cleaned his hands and leg, feet, ಎರಡು ಕಾಲು ಕೈ ತೊಳ್ಕೊತಾನೆ, ಮುಖ ಎಲ್ಲ ವಾಶ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊತಾನೆ. Then I sent him home, ಮನೆಗೆ ಕಳಿಸ್ದೆ. Really it troubled the bicycle so much. At last even this bicycle has got fed up of him. Even the bicycle hit him. So the intention of coming to his friend house, they wanted to go for a ride. Instead of doing that, he simply wanted to show the skills of bicycle repair, and that would be I can say it's not a repair, it's a trouble taken to himself. So read the chapter. A bit difficult for you people. ತುಂಬಾನೇ idiomatic expressions ಮತ್ತೆ phrasal verbs ತುಂಬಾ ಇದೆ. You have to read the text. Okay, answers are not useful. You have to read the story completely in between the lines. Try to get the meanings of every difficult word, and especially with phrasal verbs. They got different meanings. Better you check in detail. Okay? Keep reading and enjoy.